Check this out from creating your best year ever.
Your genetics. Why do some of us go from like a superhero as a kid? Raise your hand if you have a kid or a grandkid. Raise your hand if you have a kid or a grandkid, okay? Isn't it amazing how like they really don't have many fears, or they don't really have any reservations, sometimes to a fault, like especially in public, right? But they think that they're awesome most of the time. I mean, they think they're superheroes. Their imagination is incredible. Why do we lose that? I don't get it. Why do we lose that? Why do we, as a child, why are we taught, or why do we just innately think that we can do anything? And then when we hit 20 and we fail a couple classes in college, we think that we're nothing, worth nothing now, right? Or when we fail a couple diets, or we lose a job, or maybe we lose a relationship, we just think that we're never going to bounce back from that. And it leads to hurts and unforgiveness and all these different things out there. And it leads to a guy like this. Hopefully no one is like this in this room. I was looking at this morning when I was preparing. I was like, I don't know, like, is it the beer, the belly, or the sideburns that's the worst? I think the sideburns are the worst, right? You guys bypassed that. I just saw the Elvis hair. So what happens? And then like this guy, let's say he's 40, 50, and like midlife crisis. Like, why do we go through that? Why do we go through a midlife crisis? Because our culture says that it's what? Normal. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's not good to think that midlife crises are normal, okay? We can't go with our health especially. Oh, I'm 45. It's about that time that I get on blood pressure medication and cholesterol medication. Oh, I'm 60 years old. I guess my reproductive organs are going to stop now. Men. That's not normal. It's common, okay? Everyone wants to be in the two tubs that are overlooking the mountains and the butterflies going around, like, right? I mean, come on, seriously, like, we're being told what to think. We're being told what to think, and it's not right. It's not right. So we have to have a different vision for our life. We have to a different dream for our life. And it's, you know, some people may call you crazy. A lot of people call me crazy. But it's okay to be crazy in our culture. We got to be counter-culture. We got to be opposite of everything else. So when I go to my holiday functions with my family, I'm the weird one, okay? I'm the chiropractor. That's the weird guy. Oh, he's not going to eat that sugar, right? I'm the weird one. And patience, some of you have experienced that too, sometimes from your own family. Praise God for that. At least they're learning from you, right? So it's not supposed to be easy. This is an awesome picture. Take a picture of this if you can do that with your phone. But it starts with a big idea, then a dream, and then a challenge. Most people don't even make it to the challenge. With big idea and dream, and we stop. For some reason, we stop because we don't know what to do next to get there. Health, finances, relationships, whatever, job, whatever it is. And then we go to push ourselves, and pushing ourselves is hard, right? Then we got to try it again because we failed maybe once. And then we change, we grow, and then we actually have to leave our comfort zone. There's a zone, like if you can imagine like a circle around you, and once you get close to that uncomfortability, then we always go back to the center. Who's ever experienced that with anything? So for me, my personal experience is I used to hate public speaking in school. Like elementary school, high school, college, I would literally like get hives, I would get nervous, I'd almost pass out, right? And I remember like every time there would be an opportunity, like, oh, I heard about that college class, you have to get up and give a presentation, I literally wouldn't take the class. That's how bad it was. Who's ever experienced that before with anything, whether it's public speaking or fear? And it's like, isn't it crazy how fear just motivates us to not do something? It's scary. And then I realized, well, it doesn't really matter. Like, if you care enough, then you don't care anymore, right? If you care enough to do something, you don't care what people think about you anymore, right? So your uncomfortability is a good thing. It's good to feel kind of weird in the produce section and the organic section. It's good to feel weird juicing for the first time in your life, right? It's good to feel weird when you put kale into your smoothie if you've never done that before. That's a weird experience at first, right? Or like chia seeds in water. Who's ever done chia seeds just in water, right? Yeah, and it's like at first you're like, oh, I don't know, what is this, tapioca? This is like bad. Was he right about this, right? And it's like, and your taste buds are even like, that's weird. I don't know if you should do that again, right? In your stomach, the whole system starts to be shocked. But it's okay. Feeling weird is good. So most important asset is your health. If you guys don't have your health, then you can't achieve these dreams or goals. You see what I mean? Like if you're sick, you can't serve your family, you can't serve God, you can't serve your church, you can't serve people at work at 100%. Who's ever been on the other end of it where you saw family members get sick and everything stops? Who's ever been on that other end of it? I have, right? Or someone you're working with like gets sick and you got to pick up the load. Who's ever done that before? That's always fun, right? And so listen, John Candy, we just watched him, right? That's why I put him on here. I mean, he was sick. He died of a heart attack, heart disease, okay? Imagine how many more years in his life he should have and could have had. Steve Jobs had everything, all the money at least. Money, ideas, a brilliant man. He literally changed the culture when it comes to technology, right? But for some reason, his body wasn't healing like it should, and he got cancer. And he tried to do a holistic route, but by then it was already too late. So then he started to do chemo and radiation, and he obviously died prematurely, right? And so the issue is this, is that if we have these dreams and all these things that we want to do in life, if we don't have our health, we will be stopped short. We will be stopped short. And it will, even just destroying a weekend, right? If you're sick over the weekend, how does that feel on Monday? It's like, man, that weekend was wasted. Wow, right? So health is your number one asset. So most Americans approach health like this. It's pretty crazy. And I could spend an hour just on this, and I won't, I promise you. We disregard the natural order. Meaning there's natural processes that our body goes through with age, with life, with circumstances, with the environment, and we just think that we're dying, right? I mean, if we have a fever, if we have a runny nose, if you have diarrhea or vomiting, or if your skin's breaking out or whatever it is, like you freak out. We're taught to freak out, right? We're taught to freak out, and it's not. Your body's trying to do something. See, if your body's showing a symptom of some sort, your body's doing something for a reason. Don't stop that necessarily, right? If your blood pressure's high, your cholesterol's high, your body's doing it for a reason, right? If you eat bad food, your body's going to get it out one way or the other, right? With kids, for instance, a lot of the viruses attack their stomach. Who's ever had a kid with diarrhea or vomiting? That's an awesome night, isn't it? It's great. But then it's like, what do we want to do? We want to stop it, don't we? I mean, naturally, that's what we think. We want to stop it with something, right? Because we love them, we care about them, we don't want to see them like that. But then afterwards, if you let their body run its course, let it do what it's supposed to do, the natural order of things, the kid will be healthier faster. Who's ever had a kid that, when you let them just run the course, vomiting or diarrhea, and then like an hour later, they're like 100%? Like, who's ever seen that before? Like, am I crazy or are they crazy? That's crazy, right? And it's because you let their body work. Another one's reactionary. We're a sick care model, meaning if it's not broke, don't fix it. Come on. Nobody use that anymore with me, right? If it's not broke, don't fix it. When it breaks, it costs what? More money and more time, right? Yeah, I'm not going to eat healthy until I gain weight. What? I mean, think about that. I'm not going to go to the gym until my knees hurt, right? I mean, think about that. When my knees hurt, that's a warning sign that I have too much weight in my body. That's not something you should follow, right? Outside in, quick fix philosophy. We have an outside in mentality, meaning if I'm hurting or something's wrong or I have a health issue, the answer is going to come from outside of my body than from inside of my body, right? Do you guys realize that? That's what we're taught in our culture, and sadly enough, even holistically, it's easy to do that. I found myself sometimes like, okay, well, if this is going on, then we're going to give you this supplement to treat this, when really that supplement does what in the body? It creates a healthy chemistry, which therefore causes your body to work at 100%. You guys with me on that? We shouldn't treat this for that, but we're taught to do that. I mean, look at Walgreens, CVS. You go right in, oh, I have this. They even have it labeled colds, flus, nasal congestion. Like it's crazy, right? So we're trying to treat symptoms outside in, and our insurance feeds the fire. Come on, you guys know. It's not health insurance, it's sick or crisis insurance, right? And some of the people that have like kind of decent insurance companies and they pay a lot of money for insurance coverage and they pay a lot of money for it, they're very proud. They're very like, oh, I'm glad I got that. But then there's this thing called medically necessity that's on the insurance. And medically necessity says this, that they will not pay for any preventative maintenance or wellness care. Actually what you need to actually stay what? Healthy. And people with Medicare even kind of get mad about it. Well, Medicare guidelines dictate all the other insurance companies. That's great if you're not Medicare, right? Everybody under 60? That's not good, right? So people with Medicare, they're going to pay for my health care. No, they'll pay for your sick care, maybe, a certain portion after the deductible, and if your doctor accepts it. See what I mean? You got through a lot of funnels there. So insurance feeds that, and then we just want to alleviate symptoms. Who wants to feel good? Raise your hand if you want to feel good. Amen. Everyone wants to feel good. Last month, it better be free, and everybody else better be doing it, right? And it better be easy. Come on. It's not easy to feel good if your body's been going one way for years. But some patients, some of you are like, yeah, doc, my shoulder, my knee, and they've been in my office like 2 weeks, right? And they're saying it's like, come on, it took like 40 years to get there. Give me a break. Give your body a break. So we got to start to think differently about our symptoms. And when we do have a symptom, don't freak out. Just know your body's going to heal. We just got to do a couple little things to get there, right? So best health plan ever. The best doctor gives the least medicine. This is the chiropractic portion, right? Patients, this is a reminder, please listen up. Do not zone out here. A lot of patients zone out at this point because they've been patients for 6 months, years. Please do not zone out here. This is important because it's a reminder of why you lay on the table and why I adjust you, okay? So the best doctor in the world gives the least amount of medicine. This is why I'm not a pharmaceutical rep. I'm not a pharmaceutical rep. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a detox guy. I'm not a surgeon. I'm not that, because chiropractic saved my life. It changed my life. And so what happens is that part of chiropractic, before we get to the nerve system, is, okay, well, the lie is that if I'm healthy now, if I feel good now, I'm probably healthy. If I feel good now, I'm probably healthy. How many people you know out there just says, hey, I feel good, so I'm good? Raise your hand if you know anyone that says that before. Some of you are like, yeah, that's me. I feel good now. I'm healthy, right? Well, it is really every single day in the morning we put our feet on the ground. It is our only really measurement, right, in our home, that we can say, you know what? I'm healthy today because I felt good. I woke up and I felt good. So that's my measurement for health. But think about cancer, heart disease, diabetes, cholesterol. Does anybody ever walk around saying, I've never had my cholesterol checked, but I can feel my cholesterol is really high today? Has anybody ever said that? No one's ever said, I don't really have any symptoms, but I can feel these gallbladder stones developing in my gallbladder. I feel that, right? Nobody says that, right? I mean, come on. No one says, oh, man, I can tell them I feel my immune system is weakened because I can feel there's less white blood cells in my body. Nobody says that. That's the cool thing about our bodies, that our body's doing these things for us. We're repairing, renewing, restoring every single second of the day without thinking about it. Think about the miracle of just going to bed, your heart still beats, you still breathe without thinking about it, and then you wake up and you're good to go again. I mean, that's a miracle. And so we can't just base our health on just how we feel. That's why the medical system has put so much money, effort, technology into preventative testing. You guys know that. Mammograms, colonoscopies, blood work, CT scans, MRIs, all those different things. 30 years ago, it wasn't like that. Now it's much more prevalent, because if you ask an oncologist if you ask them can you feel good and have cancer, and they say, yeah, I see people with stage 3, stage 4 cancer that actually feel good and they look good, which is weird too, right? And so health is not just how you feel. Health is how your body's healing and functioning 100%. The definition here says a state of optimal physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease and sickness. That's what the definition of health is. Health means to heal and function 100%. If I'm healing and functioning 100%, my body's going to do exactly what it's supposed to do, exactly when it's supposed to do it. If 100% means 100% health and 0 means death, we don't want to go towards zero, right? We're not going to go to 0, right? In order for us to feel our first symptom in any system of our body has to be dysfunctioning 40%. That means we got to be at 60% function at any system in our body for us to feel anything. And the first thing we do when we feel something is we cover it up as a culture. Well, first off, I should say, we ignore it. Second is we cover it up. And the issue is that then it's a false sense of health. It's like, okay, well, I'm good to go. I'm really good to go. And then you're at 60%, you're at 50%, 40%, 30%, and then you get the big diagnoses out there. Cancer, heart disease, diabetes, right? So we have to understand that if we're at 60, 50, 60, 70, wherever you're at on symptom-wise, we got to always move towards 100%. That's our goal. With every decision we make, we're either getting closer to 100% or closer to 0, which we don't want to be there, okay? Every decision you make, I know it's kind of daunting. Everything you put in your mouth, everything you put on your skin, if you get enough sleep, are you eating the right type of grass-fed beef or corn-fed beef? Like, what are you eating? Are you exercising? Are you breathing in enough oxygen? It's daunting. That's why it's like peeling an onion. I mean, every single layer, right, is something that we have to address. And it doesn't happen overnight, okay?